overall, the episode was by far the best of the season. I don't know if that's me fanboying or not for Ahsoka, but
No, no,
by
no.
far best episode of the season, probably best episode of the series. And I know that we're not done seeing Ahsoka yet, but the opening by itself, just watching Ahsoka wearing what we last saw her in at the end of Rebels, which tells you Sabine is somewhere out there and they're separated. Um, but basically, just seeing Ahsoka wearing exactly what we left off with, and then every single time she was fighting, like, or not fighting because when she did the one-on-one at the end, but when she was fighting, like the armies and stuff, it felt like a horror movie. Like she was a monster, like in the mist. And it would all of a sudden she'd appear over there, and I was just waiting for the Wilhelm scream going, like off on the side, and hearing that in random places. I was really hoping for that, but it was just, they made her feel like a good monster, but like
Yeah.
it felt a very Japanese Western feel, how she had to jump over the walls and the town and the way that was laid out. But it was just, the opening was just phenomenal. It showed Ahsoka's stealth-like abilities, because a lot of the stuff that we didn't really see in Clone Wars. We know that she was agile and evasiveness, but like, for example, I don't know how many of your followers play Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the mobile game.
I'm sure
Ahsoka's
a lot of them do. I've heard a lot of comments about it.
I, I'm a big into that game. And Ahsoka's one of her, like the Padawan Ahsoka, her main ability is evasiveness. Then your Rebels Ahsoka is when she attacks once, she gains a automatic dodge. Um, and it just really showed that evasiveness that that game even tries to get more into, outside of like more mainstream is why I'm going there, because I know that if you read the books, you know that she's evasive as can be. But
Hmm.
when it comes to mainstream, anybody has it, you don't really see
Yeah.
it too often. I loved how they showed just almost teleporting from place to place.
Yeah. And so going off that with the opening, I thought this was when I first played it, I was a little kind of shocked that this is how it opened. Not just because it opened right away with Ahsoka, but also because it was a different opening than any of the other episodes so far. We usually begin off with a shot of Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, who we now know his name. We'll get into later, and it usually shows them going to a new world, a new city, a new planet, whatever. And that's how every episode has begun since the start of this series. But this one started in the woods, a very darker tone, which I really loved because last episode we heard that they were going to go to a forest planet of Corvus, and I think everyone was thinking it was going to be this lush, beautiful, thriving, force-filled world that was nice and green, and then they completely hit sideswipe you, and it's a dying planet, and there's destruction. There's there's old members of the Empire there, and there's a lot of bad things going on, and so that must be why Ahsoka's there, is to try and bring some order to it in some way. So I thought that was a great intro for this, and then of course we see our classic Ahsoka Tano, and it was really nice to see her. How did you feel about Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka and her portrayal?
Couldn't have been a better actress if you ask me.
I totally agree.
She really embodied it. The only thing that could have been better is if it was, cannot think of her name all of a sudden. I had it in my head, but the original voice actor. The only way it would have been better is if they had
Ashley
her lip
Eckstein.
sync. Yes, that would have been the only way, is they lip synced, like
That would
having
have been
her
cool.
talk. But I feel
Honestly,
like
a
that would
lot
have
of
worked.
people thought that. The I thought she did great too. If there's a nit, it's going to be picked. And I did have one nitpick, and that was her. I'm
The
gonna call it
headdress with her
hair.
wrinkles.
It was not
It's
the wrinkles. Wrinkles were fine. They were just a little shorter than they were in Rebels.
and it's actually not a head, her hair. It's actually a headdress. Um,
Oh, it
Pretty
is.
sure Ahsoka is not one of the blue creatures such as Alaya. Can't think of her last name. The Jedi. That
The
we
blue
see.
girl, yeah.
That is basically that alien's version's hair. I'm pretty sure Ahsoka's is a headdress.
Okay,
that
so
they
that's not a part of her.
that's not a part of it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Now I don't know if I'm speaking canon or legends, but I'm pretty sure it's a headdress that her people give to those that are force sensitive and that are taken to the Jedi. And that's why you don't see too many people with her style, and that's why she's got the band right there. Because that's kind of the fitting, like the liner to have.
Oh, okay. Well, other than that, I mean, her look was it was great. Her movements were just as Ahsoka. The cadence in her voice was done very well. I really believed it was an older version of this character that we know, and
Yep.
I thought Rosario did a great job. I can't think of anyone else who could have done it better. The eyes is what sells it for me. The makeup was done really well, and overall, I really hope we get to see more of her. I doubt it'll be in this season, honestly, but I really want to see more of her in the future.